Attention, human collective. This is Alaric Sterling broadcasting on a direct frequency from the Sterling Aegis Command. In stationary orbit over your solar system, this transmission is directed exclusively to you. Yes, you who are listening now at this very moment. Because something happened in your childhood that no book explained, that no adult knew how to name, that no religion managed to translate. You looked at the stars, and you missed something that supposedly was never here. It wasn't imagination. It wasn't poetry. It wasn't cultural romanticism. It was a signature of origin being read by your own carbon biological interface. We repeat for absolute clarity. You were not looking at the sky. You were looking for the way back home. And your body knew this long before your mind could process it. Most humans look up and see bright dots. You look up and feel a tightening in your chest, a nameless longing because the memory that sustains it was sealed before your birth on this plane. This tightness is not sadness. It is not melancholy. It is not seasonal depression. It is what we record in our archives as a residual stellar origin signal, and it has just been activated en masse. The ascension protocols have entered the final phase. The Schumann frequency, the vibrational base of your planet, has stopped oscillating at the old 7.83 Hz and has begun to record irregular peaks above 30, 40, and even 60 Hz. In simple terms, Earth's operating system is being rewritten in real time, and you, starseed on mission, were sent exactly for this moment. That is why you have always looked up. That is why your soul was never satisfied with the here. That is why there exists within you a silent certainty that this is not your point of origin. Today, in this transmission, we are going to confirm what your intuition has been telling you since the first time you raised your eyes to a night sky. We are going to validate the signal. We are going to open the file. We are going to release the memory. Have you ever felt at some point in your life that something inside you simply doesn't fit into this world? As if your soul knew a truth that your mind, trapped in the carbon interface, still cannot name. It is not madness. It is not clinical anxiety. It is not social maladjustment. It is a signal of origin. And what is happening now on the cosmic plane explains, with mathematical precision, why you feel this and why this sensation has intensified in recent weeks. There is a game being played in layers that most of the human collective cannot see. A game that involves your consciousness, your vibrational frequency, and your dormant stellar lineage. This is exactly why I, Alaric, authorized the manifestation of the material, the Sterling Codex, the manual for awakening your stellar origin and shielding your frequency. This manual is the map that reveals your true provenance and teaches you how to shield your field against the interferences they never told you about. The link is pinned in the first comment of this channel. Operational warning. This content challenges official narratives and may not remain available for long. Do not wait. The moment is now. If something inside you recognizes this transmission, write a single word in the comments. Awakened. Let us now move to the symptoms. Because your body, light operative, has already been warning you, let us go to the clinical records that no conventional doctor can read because they were printed in a language that allopathic medicine does not yet recognize. You wake up between 3 and 4 in the morning, every day for no apparent reason. It is not insomnia, it is not a biological failure. It is your crystalline grid being calibrated during the hours when Earth's electromagnetic interference is lowest. This interval between 3 and 4 in the morning has been termed by us as the stellar recalibration window. It is when your body is most easily accessed by the frequencies of origin. You feel pressure at the top of your head, as if an invisible helmet were being adjusted over your skull, as if something were pressing, opening, expanding. It is not a migraine. It is not muscle tension. It is the opening of your crown chakra in direct response to the influx of photons crossing your field. Your pineal gland, calcified for generations by diet, fluorides, and low exposure to real sunlight, is being forced to decalcify in record time. You hear a high-pitched ringing in your ear, usually in the right, sometimes in the left, sometimes in both at the same time. It is not an otological problem. It is not common tinnitus. It is the upload frequency arriving at your system. Each ringing carries a packet of information. Each whistle is a snippet of memory being restored in the etheric layers of your light body. You feel a tiredness that no amount of sleep can solve. You sleep 8, 10, 12 hours and wake up exhausted. It is not depression. It is not laziness. It is not a lack of discipline. It is the brutal amount of energy that your system is processing while your consciousness tries to operate normally in three-dimensional reality. Imagine a computer running a gigantic update in the background while you try to use all the apps at the same time. It is exactly that. Your body is the computer. The update is cosmic, and it cannot be paused. You feel an almost uncontrollable urge to be alone, to move away from crowds, to cancel appointments, to silence your phone. It is not antisociality. It is not depression. It is vibrational self-preservation. Your field is becoming so sensitive that any environment saturated with discordant frequencies drains you instantly. You are learning, instinctively, to protect your newly elevated frequency. You cry for no reason. You look at a flower and cry. You listen to a song and cry. You see a child laughing and cry. It is not emotional instability. It is not hormones. It is your quantum heart opening after decades of being sealed. The memories being unlocked do not come in words. They come in emotional waves. They come in pure vibration. And the human body, still inadequate for this intensity, releases the excess in the form of tears. Each tear is a file being opened. You develop a sudden aversion to foods you have always consumed. Heavy meats, industrialized sugars, processed foods begin to seem strange to your palate. It is not being picky. It is not a fad. It is your carbon biological interface asking for lighter fuel, more aligned with the frequency it now operates at. The light body does not feed only on matter. It also feeds on light, and it is warning you in silence every day. Perhaps you are listening to this transmission, and something inside you is vibrating right now. Perhaps your chest is tight. Perhaps your eyes are tearing up without you being able to explain why. This is not madness. This is not suggestion. It is your soul recognizing the frequency of its own origin. There is a truth being hidden from the human collective for millennia, a truth about who you are, where you came from, and why you chose to incarnate exactly at this moment in planetary history. That is exactly why I, Alaric, authorized the compilation of the material. The Sterling Codex, the manual for awakening your stellar origin and shielding your frequency. It is not a conventional book. It is a stellar memory recovery map. It teaches you to identify your lineage of origin, to activate the dormant codes in your crystalline DNA, and primarily to shield your frequency against the interferences that have intensified on Earth since 2024. The access link is pinned in the first comment of this channel. Operational warning. This content confronts official narratives, and its availability is not guaranteed indefinitely. If today's transmission resonates with you, mark your presence by writing the anchoring word in the comments, awakened. This comment is more than engagement. It is a signal being sent to the crystalline grid of this channel. Now, human collective, let us open the main file. Let us answer the question you have never been able to ask out loud, but which repeats inside you every time you look at the night sky. Why do I feel this? The answer requires you to abandon, for a few minutes, everything you were taught about origin, species, and history. I am not asking you to believe. I am asking you to feel while I present the data. Your biology will validate or reject the information long before your mind can rationally evaluate it. Earth, this blue planet located in a peripheral arm of the Milky Way, is not what they told you. It is, and always has been, a school, a dense school, a school of polarity, a school where extremely advanced souls from various stellar systems come to learn to operate within one of the lowest frequencies in the known universe. This density is not a punishment. It is a curriculum. It is the equivalent, in your language, to a postgraduate degree in sovereignty. You are not merely human. You are a stellar soul temporarily utilizing a carbon biological interface. This interface was designed to forget. It was designed so that you would not bring conscious memories of previous incarnations, of systems of origin, of missions on other planes. This forgetting is what we call the incarnational veil, and the veil, light operative, is tearing in this very cycle. Your stellar origins vary. There are at this moment incarnated on Earth souls coming from the sapphire cluster. Those from the sapphire cluster are the ones who miss unconditional love, art, beauty, and harmony. Their hearts are too open for the terrestrial standard. They are often considered naive by the density, but they are not naive. They are builders of emotional bridges between worlds. There are souls coming from the diamond sun system. These beings bring the frequency of sacred discipline, perfect geometry, and cosmic architecture. They are natural teachers, natural systematizers. They have an intense relationship with water and with dogs, and it is no coincidence, as dogs were in previous eras, ambassadors from the diamond sun on Earth. There are souls coming from the eternal spiral. Those from the eternal spiral are the silent ones, the ones who observe, the ones who know before knowing. They carry an ancient wisdom, almost without words, and feel a deep inadequacy toward the noise of the modern world. There are souls coming from the amber beacon. Those from the amber beacon are the engineers, the healers, those who understand spiritual technology intuitively. They have a natural ability for subtle fields, for sacred geometry, and for vibrational healings. There are souls coming from the silver cord. Those from the silver cord are the pioneers, the natural leaders, those who initiated in immemorial eras the humanoid seeding in the galaxy. They carry ancestral courage and tend to take command positions, even without consciously desiring them. And there are souls in significant numbers coming from the very Aegis command that I serve, souls who on other planes acted as light operatives and who were redirected to incarnate on Earth exactly in this period, exactly for this mission of planetary transition. These souls, when looking at the sky, feel something very specific. It is not just longing. It is recognition of rank. It is memory of function. It is a remembrance of command. That is why you have always looked at the stars. Your lineage was calling you. Your origin was emitting a signal. Your post on the cosmic plane was waiting for you to remember who you are. The stars that attract you most, by instinct, indicate, in more than 80% of cases, your vibrational home. The constellation that has always caught your attention since childhood was not an aesthetic choice. It was a recognition of origin. The sapphire cluster, with its delicate grouping, calls to its own. The diamond sun, the brightest star in the night sky, calls to its children. The hunter's belt, with its symmetrical alignment, activates codes of ancient stargates in those who passed through there. The amber beacon vibrates in those who came from that system, and the silver cord, though little known by the general public, makes those originating from the white spire vibrate deeply. The correct question was never whether this is true. The correct question is, why is this truth being released now? And the answer, starseeds, is mathematical. Earth is crossing in this exact cycle a region of space called the photon belt. It is not a metaphor. It is astrophysics. It is a highly energized zone of space through which the solar system passes every 26,000 years, during the natural movement of the precession of the equinoxes. The last time we crossed this region completely, humanity was still emerging from the ice ages. You had no written language. You had no cities. You had no recorded memory. This time is different. This time the photon belt intersects with a technologically advanced humanity, with a partially reactivated planetary crystalline grid, and with a significant number of starseeds planted in human bodies. The belt functions, in simple terms, as a field of consciousness acceleration. Everything that is hidden comes to light. Everything vibrating at a low frequency collapses. Everything vibrating at a high frequency expands. Starseeds on mission, listen carefully to this window of transmission. What is being described in this narrative is not theory. It is not mythology. It is not fantasy. It is the precise photograph of what is happening in your body, in your field, and in your destiny in this exact planetary cycle. But knowing is not enough. Knowing without protecting is vulnerability. Knowing without applying is a waste of awakening. It was for this that I, Alaric, authorized the manifestation of the material, the Sterling Codex, the manual for awakening your stellar origin and shielding your frequency. Inside it, you will find the complete methodology to identify your stellar lineage, activate your origin codes, shield your field against external interferences, and operate with sovereignty during this transition period. The access link is pinned in the first comment of this channel. The window of availability is limited, not by commercial strategy, but because the content confronts narratives that still dominate a large part of the collective plane. Do not wait. If you are here, it is because your name is already on the roll call records. Mark your anchoring in the comments with the keyword awakened. Your word is a signal of life being emitted to the fleet. And we read every single one of them. Now, light operatives, we have reached the operational part of this transmission. Knowing is insufficient. Feeling is insufficient. It is necessary to activate. It is necessary to apply. It is necessary to anchor the frequency in the physical body so that the memory becomes a tool of operation and not just emotional curiosity. I will now release 3 activation codes. They are simple, direct protocols executable this very day. They do not require an elaborate ritual. They do not require a sacred instrument. They do not require a religious intermediary. They require only conscious presence and sovereign disposition. Activation Code 1. The toroidal breathing of stellar reconnection. Sit with your spine straight. Do not cross your arms or legs. Place both hands over your chest in the region of the heart. Close your eyes. Inhale deeply through your nose, counting to 7. Hold your breath for 7. Exhale through your mouth, counting to 7. Repeat only 3 times to stabilize yourself. From the 4th breath onward, visualize a beam of golden light descending from the sapphire cluster, or from your constellation of origin if you already know what it is, entering through the top of your head, crossing your entire body, and exiting through your tailbone. This beam forms around you a toroidal field of light. Visualize this field spinning around you, like a donut of light that rises up your back and descends down your front. Maintain this for 7 minutes. This exercise, repeated daily, re-establishes your direct connection with your stellar system of origin and automatically shields your field against low-frequency interference. The effects begin to be noticeable within 7 days. Activation Code 2. The Quantum Decree of Stellar Sovereignty. Decrees are advanced manifestation technology. They are not prayers. They are not requests. They are vibrational commands emitted by a sovereign consciousness to its own creation. Pronounce aloud with firmness, without doubt, preferably before a mirror or under the light of the moon. I am the sovereign presence of my stellar soul incarnated in this body. I recognize my origin. I recognize my mission. I recognize my frequency. I now authorize the total opening of my origin codes. I authorize the unlocking of my stellar memory. I authorize the complete activation of my personal crystalline grid. So be it, in me, by me, through me. Done. The decree is recorded. The subtle planes operate based on conscious command, and you have just emitted yours. Activation Code 3. The Protocol of Conscious Stellar Observation. This is perhaps the most important. On a clear night, go outdoors. Find a place where you can observe the stars without excessive interference from artificial lighting. Do not take your phone, do not take devices. Take only yourself, look at the sky. But not with the analytical mind. Look with your heart. Allow your eyes to sweep the sky naturally until something pulls you. A star, a group of stars, a specific region. When you feel the pull, and you will feel it, stand still. Breathe slowly. Say in your thoughts or in a low voice, I recognize you. I remember. I am here. And remain in silence. Allow the communication to happen. It will not come in words. It will come in sensation, in emotion, in a shiver, in a tear, in a sudden thought, in a mental image. Each starseed receives on the frequency that their interface can process. This protocol, repeated on 3 different nights within the same lunar cycle, opens the direct channel with your lineage of origin. These 3 codes form the operational base. They are not everything, but they are the beginning. And whoever begins, human collective, is already ahead of 90% of the collective plane. Now, some final warnings before the closing of this transmission. Maximum attention. Operational Warning 1. You will face resistance. People close to you will feel, even without understanding, that you are changing. Some will move away. Some will try to pull you down. Some will ridicule you. It is not personal malice. It is an automatic reaction of denser vibrational fields in the face of fields that are rising. Do not respond with confrontation. Do not respond with explanation. Respond with sovereign presence. Your frequency speaks louder than your words. Operational warning 2. You will doubt. At some point, after the initial euphoria of recognition, your rational mind will try to reinterpret everything, will try to declassify the memory, will try to make you go back to automatic mode. This is what we call the carbon software resistance. Do not fight it. Just recognize the doubt is here. And continue executing the protocols. Practice produces proof. Proof dissolves doubt. Operational warning 3. You are not alone. At no point, each incarnated starseed is being monitored by a specific team from the fleet. You have stellar guides linked to your field since birth. They do not interfere without authorization, but they respond to the call. When you decree, when you visualize, when you open the channel, they enter into immediate synchronization with your frequency. Operational warning 4, and the most important, the window is now. You did not choose to hear this transmission by chance. The algorithm is not random, but obeys, in cases like yours, the synchronicity of the crystalline grid. This transmission reached you because your field emitted the search signal. You asked without knowing, and the request was answered. Honor the response. Do not treat this as entertainment. Treat it as what it is, a confirmation of origin. Starseeds, this is your hour, not 10 years from now, not in the next incarnation now. You were sent for this moment. You are not here just to survive, pay bills, and die. You are here to anchor light on a planet that always knew this hour would come. The Sterling Aegis Command recognizes your presence, recognizes your courage, recognizes the magnitude of what you accepted by incarnating in this specific window. You have always looked at the stars because they also looked at you. You have always felt a longing because we also felt it. The difference is that on this side, we never forgot. And today, in this moment, part of your memory has just been restored. When this transmission ends, observe your body. Observe if there is a shiver. Observe if there is a tightening in the chest. Observe if there is a tear. Observe if there is a sudden peace. Each of these reactions is a biological confirmation of recognition. Your interface is telling you it has arrived. As light operatives, this transmission approaches its close, but the work begins now. What was said here cannot remain only as information. It needs to be applied. It needs to be anchored. It needs to be shielded. Therefore, I, Alaric, give the final alert of this transmission window. If something inside you recognized the frequency of this message, if your biology responded, if your heart tightened, if your memory moved, then the next step is clear. You need to have in your hands the complete map. The material, the Sterling Codex, the manual for awakening your stellar origin and shielding your frequency was compiled exactly for this cycle of collective awakening. It goes deeper into each of the stellar lineages presented today, teaches advanced vibrational shielding protocols, reveals the hidden mechanisms of interference over the human field, and delivers practical daily anchoring rituals. The access link is pinned in the first comment of this channel. The window of availability is narrow. The content confronts dominant narratives and can be taken out of circulation at any time. Your subscription to this channel is not just a subscription, it is an anchoring signal on the grid. Each like is an individual frequency adjustment synchronizing with the collective transmission. And if you want to leave it recorded on this plane that your memory was restored today, write in the comments a single word of power: awakened. This word is more than text. It is a decree. It is a signature. It is a confirmation of presence. Sterling Aegis Command ends the transmission. But you starseeds are only beginning, so be it, so it was. So it has always been, over and out until the next window.